Brother lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. There is a major development on the Kai Havertz story and a big update on the Declan Rice story as well from Fabrizio Romano. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Arsenal will be signing Kai Havertz in the next few hours. According to Pletigo, it will depend on our next offer. Chelsea believe Arsenal's offer will be around 60 to 65 million euros, and that should be enough to convince them to sell. Arsenal have already agreed personal terms with Declan Rice, according to Fabrizio Romano, and in the next days, Arsenal will also agree a total price and fee for Declan Rice with West Ham, and we will see that one get done over the line as well. Arsenal are planning a double move for Timothy Castagne and Romeo Lavia after signing Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. We're going to be diving into much of that. Let's have this video to 500 likes. Let's have your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. What do you think about this week? Have we done well, by the way, in terms of progressing to our targets? I will be doing a transfer roundup later on. It's a Sunday transfer roundup, and we'll be talking about each and every player and where we are and why I think this week has been quite a fascinating one. Arsenal sending in bids here and there, one for Rice, one for Kai Havertz, both of them rejected, but that also means that we are a step closer to signing our transfer priorities. Right, let's get into it now. Today, Fabrizio Romano has said that Arsenal and Declan Rice do have an agreement on personal terms, and he says the deal is entering crucial days now. Arsenal want to be fast as to avoid any surprises. A new bid will be discussed after 80 million rejected. Personal terms never been a problem, and he understands that Manchester City asked again for the status of Declan Rice on Friday. However, it's that will depend on Ike Gundogan's decision whether to stay or not. Right, so that's Fabrizio Romano on a Declan Rice. First and foremost, there is no problem on personal terms. That is already our grade. But then he also says that Manchester City's pursuit and Manchester City's interest in the player depends on the decision taken by Ike Gundogan. Now listen, that buys Arsenal some more time. That actually buys us some more time to get this deal done. I think the interest from Manchester City is absolutely genuine. I do not think City will sit there and see Arsenal sign Declan Rice and see Arsenal sign Romeo Lavia and see Arsenal sign Kai Havertz. Signings that take us to the next level as they lose Ike Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, and all these players that are going to be, getting out of their squad. Now, I think Arsenal should be rivaled for Declan Rice. That could be something very healthy for the Premier League. But as an Arsenal fan, this is an opportunity for us to go on and get this deal done before Manchester City make up their mind. Now, listen, I don't think Ike Gundogan is going to stay at Manchester City. According to TalkSport, he's one of the players that have been released by the Manchester City website. I think he's won everything at City. He wants a change. He wants a change of environment. He wants something new. He wants a new challenge. He's played at Dortmund. He's come into the Premier League. He's won everything there. It wouldn't be a bad shout if he goes to, Barcelona, play with, Xavi, under Xavi and the likes of, Pedri, Gavi and all those guys, at back. I think it would be a very interesting, prospect for him as a player. So if Manchester City lose Ike Gundogan before Arsenal sign Declan Rice, that is where the problem is gonna be. Of course, we know from Jakob Steinberg from The Guardian that the interest in Declan Rice is absolutely there. They like him, they appreciate him, they have looked at him as a player for quite some time, and they believe at the end of the day, he can be a very good replacement for Ike Gundogan. So if Pep thinks Rice is a good replacement for Ike Gundogan, I don't think Arsenal should waste some more time. I don't think we really need to waste more time. It's either we sign him quickly or he's gonna go somewhere else, and that is the speed, and that is that is the race that we are in for decades. We either sign him or he goes somewhere else. There's so many clubs interested. Bayern might be out of the way right now because they feel Arsenal leading, and Arsenal have done so much. Have taken so much bigger steps in terms of signing Declan Rice. But for me, the moment Bayern feel Arsenal are really failing to sign him, Bayern is a very attractive club, and they'll sign him. So the deal is now in crucial days. It's one of those days where you're waiting for a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. It's one of those days where you're waiting for an exclusive from David Ornstein that it's a deal done, and he will be moving to Arsenal. So for me, we've done very well on this one. The first bid was embarrassing, no question about that. And I hope we've learned our lesson. I hope we are now going to act a little bit better. If they want 100 million, everything should total up to 100 million. I think the structure will be a problem, and I don't expect this deal to be done by Monday or Tuesday, because the structure of the deal is always going to be a very, very big problem, especially in a window where Arsenal want to pay around 200 million for signings. We are not going to pay 200 million in the next 2 years or 3 years. It's going to take a lot of time for us to get these payments done over the line. And the clubs that are trying to sell to us, they've got to understand this. We're rebuilding our squad. We're trying to get back to the best we can. So I think we will pay the 60 million for Kai Havertz for around 5 years. We might pay the 100 million for Declan Rice for about 4 years. And for me, I don't feel that's a problem. If we are paying 25 million per year to West Ham, I don't think that's a problem. I think that's a very, very good deal for them. So in terms of that huge Declan Rice update, that is where we are. Personal terms, our grade. Now, concretely, we can confirm that they are our grade, and we can also confirm at the moment that we are in those crucial days that Fabrizio Romano called a week ago. He said this week we will be entering crucial stages. Yes, we are in crucial stages. We are in crucial days. Expect a here we go right any minute. Right? Of course, hijacks can happen. I still expect a few clubs to come in with we want him as well, right? But if Arsenal have gone with 80 million initially, that has put off so many clubs. Now, I've been watching this morning, and Eric Ten Hag also wants Declan Rice. He would love to sign him. He's a player that he appreciates a lot. But the problem, in that deal is that Man United need to wait for Qatar. Man United need to wait for Sheikh Jassim or whoever, or Ineos, if they are going to buy Manchester United. Whoever buys Manchester United will have to be waited for in order for these deals to happen. And that's the problem. They're losing Kim Min-jae to Bayern Munich, courtesy of that one problem. And they're losing big transfer targets like Declan Rice. And hopefully, if Mauricio Pochettino can start work before Man United sort out their business, it's going to be very interesting to see Mason Mount stay at Chelsea, because Chelsea do have a proper manager now. And Manchester United have actually not made up their mind yet. But anyway, I don't expect Manchester United to be rivaling us unless we take so long to get this deal over the line. I don't expect Bayern to come back in this deal unless we take very long. But I do expect Manchester City to be sniffing around, because they're losing two of the best Premier League midfielders that we have. This Bernardo Silva and Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan is 32, so potentially they don't have a problem with losing him. But Bernardo Silva is the one you would have thought they would love to keep, because he can give you that clutch moment, just like he did against Real Madrid. He's such a very, very good clutch player, and is one of those players that, whenever he gets older, he gets much better. So if they lose him, they'll try to replace them. They'll try to replace him very well. And Declan Rice is one of the players on their transfer shortlist. Now, after Declan Rice, still, we have a major development on the Kai Havertz story this morning. It comes in from Pletigol, Florian Plettenberg, who says that at the moment, Arsenal are very close to signing Kai Havertz. It will depend on their next offer for the player. Now, of course, we expect Arsenal to go back with a second offer. It was reported yesterday by The Guardian, Jacob Steinberg claiming that Arsenal are 100% sure they will go back for Kai Havertz, and Chelsea are also 100% sure that Arsenal will be back to sign Kai Havertz this summer. So the first bid was rejected. That didn't mean much, in my opinion. It really just meant that Arsenal need to step up their offer. It was never going to be one offer, bang. At least not for Arsenal. I've never had Arsenal sign a player with one offer. Maybe Martin Odegaard. That's the one that I remember. Arsenal didn't have a lot of pushbacks. I think Odegaard, 30 million euros they wanted Madrid. 30 million euros we paid. Apart from that deal, all the other deals have been really have faced a lot of friction. So, but one thing you have to know with Kai Havertz is It's a deal that just needs an agreement. It's a deal that just needs an agreement. The player is already frustrated at Chelsea. He's told them, I'm going to go. He's agreed personal terms with Arsenal. Arsenal have agreed to sign the player. We have an agreement between us and Chelsea that if an agreement can be reached on a fee, the player will join us. So it's one of those that are just hanging by a thread, right? If Bayern maybe come in and make things a little bit difficult and weird for us, that could be one of the reasons why we failed to sign him. But I don't see this one fail. It could be one of those that happen before the Declan Rice deal, right? I don't think Arsenal will stop to sign Kai Havertz just because we have not, signed Declan Rice yet. He's a player that Mikel Arteta appreciates. He's a player that we look at and he's in the transfer priority category. He's in the transfer priority section for Mikel Arteta this season. So Kai Havertz, huge update this morning as well. We'll be discussing that more of that in the next video if I get some more of some more information about the new bid that Arsenal preparing, how much it's gonna be, and if Chelsea will accept that as well. Now, talking about Ike Gundogan, by the way, TalkSport today have released a story claiming that Manchester City have released Ike Gundogan by their website. Now, that is absolutely true because his contract has run down. He's not signed a new deal yet at Manchester City, and therefore they have to put him among players or on the list of players that have been released. However, negotiations are still ongoing between Ike Gundogan and Pep Guardiola's side to try to make him stay. I think Arteta will try to put in a lot of friction in terms of negotiations between Gundogan and City. If he can get him at this at Arsenal, I believe Gundogan will be one of the starters for Arsenal next season. But for me, the big question is if you sign Lavia, Gundogan, and Declan Rice, I know we need squad depth, but where will they play? That's the big question. So in my opinion, if Arsenal focus on Romeo Lavia and Declan Rice, Ike Gundogan might be a deal off the table. That is what I think. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, Nicola Pepe could be going to Saudi Arabia. That's another big story that we are talking about this morning. It looks like Saudi Arabia are really interested in signing Nicola Pepe. It's one of those deals that Arsenal don't want to lose. You don't want to terminate the contract of the player. You want him to stay at the club for such a very, very long time. But I think the problem with this one is I don't think Mikel Arteta still has him in his plans. I do not think we are going to get any big money from any club in Europe, okay? So Arsenal looking for buyers. Saudi Arabia is, portraying themselves as a likely destination. For me, if you are Nicola Pepe, you take the money from Saudi Arabia and run. You definitely do that. I don't expect them to, I don't expect him to, get a huge career like maybe he had anticipated when he was maybe 19, 20. He's now 28. He needs some good money for retirement. I think his career has something like 5 years to go. If he goes to Saudi and, works there for 3 years, makes some good money, comes back in Europe, and maybe in France, and retires there, it would be some nice, environment. But again, depends on Nicola Pepe. Does he want to go to Saudi Arabia? Does he want to make the cash? I don't think he will turn down the money. I really don't think. If they can offer him around 15 million euros per year or 20 million, around 15 to 16 million euros per year, I definitely think he's going to go there. Look, there's so many players going there right now, and I don't think it's now because I don't think it's weird to go to Saudi Arabia anymore, right? Kante is there, Lukaku is going there, Riyad Mahrez potentially is going there. So Nicola Pepe for me should get the money and run. Absolutely, just get the money, and run. Arsenal's next plan is to sign both Romeo Lavia and Timothy Castagne after completing Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one. And of course, Burnley want to sign Albert Samlokonga. He's worked with the manager, Vincent Kompany, before at Anderlecht. So there is a huge possibility that they will get that deal done. We'll be speaking more about these deals as they progress in the next hours.